Hello and welcome everyone to our online live event, Ask Me Anything Digital Growth with AI, hosted by you and I in Brandiverse Marketings. Today, we're here to dive into all things digital marketing with a focus on AI.
So let's get into it, right? First question: how do you create a marketing strategy? Well, one of the things that first comes to mind is, what is your vision? What is your vision for the future for your business? How does your business, your company, your department have an unfair advantage? This is a similar question to what I would ask my clients. I ask, what is their unfair advantage? And we figure that out together. I will tell you as an aside, my unfair advantage is that I'm a triple threat, which you read in the bio, right? I'm a thought leader, a project manager, and an engineer, so I can create the vision, plan it, and execute it. And that's what makes me a triple threat. So that's my unfair advantage. So with I've been saying that I've been saying that marketing has become an engineering science since 2018. Ironically, going back to that date again, and it seems like a lot of people just woke up to this fact, right? According to a Mailchimp survey, a CRM company, 50% of marketers believe that insufficient adoption of AI inhibits them from achieving their goals. Inhibits them from achieving their goals, and 88% of marketers believe that they need AI just to stay competitive. So AI really is no longer it's no longer an optional thing, Kim. This is something that we have to do now. My clients at Brandiverse Marketing are among corporations, they're brick and mortar, small and medium sized businesses, they're solopreneurs and professional services. And I tell them all AI is an integral part in any great marketing strategy, and it's time to adapt or die. Adapt or die, right? Business operations and leadership, this is the mindset. You have to be able to move with this. Small business in America are up to $40 million in revenue. I don't know if many people know that, but according to the SBA, a small business is up to 40 million in revenue, about 1,500 employees. And but unfortunately, of all the businesses in America that open with great hopes of legacy and financial freedom and so forth, 50% of them close in 3 years. So think about the local impact to economies with that many businesses closing in these local communities. My work, as you mentioned, Ken, is to modernize from the 50-year-old legacy brand to the startup solopreneur, right? So the National Logo Studio, the National Yoga Studio franchise, the like I said, the legacy brand, and even the startup. All of those businesses need modernization so that we can all grow together, right? So when it comes back to creating that marketing strategy, I have an easy to remember acronym: digital. Digital is the acronym. Okay. You want to first determine your goals, clearly define the specific needs that you have for your marketing project, right? Who is the audience for this? Understand the target demographics, psychographics, their preferences. That's the I, right? Identify the audience. The G, generate content, high quality and engaging content. Engagement, engagement, engagement. That's how you build trust. That's how you build loyalty. It's a key thing to any marketing strategy. Too often, brands will come out with a nice, shiny product, but don't have a great content strategy of how they want to really engage people with it and tell their brand story. So that's a real issue. The fourth thing, again, the acronym of what you do to create a marketing strategy is to implement channel strategy, right? So selecting and utilizing the most relevant digital channels for your brand: social media, email, search engine optimization. Let's not forget the SEO, folks. Again, a lot of times small businesses leave out that part, and what happens, you don't get found by Google, right? You don't get found by the search engine. So SEO is key. The next thing in the digital acronym is test and learn. Continuously testing the different strategies is important, different tactics. As an engineer and someone who is a self professed data geek, I will tell you that I love being able to come up with different types of messaging and creative to be able to see what resonates more with the audience. And so testing and learning, A/B testing on your email or your paid media ad is really important. Moving on, the A in the digital acronym is to analyze. After you get all that data, analyze it back, see the performance. What did you gain? Where did you lose? What's really working? What are your main traffic sources? And then you want to streamline all of that, right? You want to maximize how you're spending your money on your marketing strategy at that point. The next thing, the last letter is L, and that is to leverage technology. And that's what we're talking about today, right? Exploring and leveraging AI driven tools and technologies to automate your processes and enhance your efficiency. That is the real opportunity for AI that's got everybody buzzing, is that opportunity for efficiency. And we're going to get more into that some more. So I hope that that's an easy way to remember how you created that marketing strategy. Look at that digital acronym and make sure you cover those areas.
I love that. I think we could just conclude here, Simone. Mic drop. You got to remember digital.
That's it.
But
Simple.
my brain, I still need to kind of go through what is digital, DIG. Okay, so if you can reach out to Simone and get the full synopsis of digital, because that's a new strategy, Simone. I haven't heard that one yet, so let's mic drop that one. That's
Well,
good.
it's all part of my blueprint. I have a 10x brand blueprint, and it covers all of these aspects. And digital is one of the ways that I help my clients to remember what those key pieces are. So, later on, we'll talk about that Brandiverse 10x blueprint. There's an ebook coming out with it. There's a webinar. There's a podcast. So we'll talk about all of that. But, I've already got a lot of stuff on my brain. So I needed an easy way to remember everything.
I do not know how Simone sleeps. I don't think she does sleep. Do you sleep?
Un poquitito, just a, just a little bit.
I don't know how you have an ebook, a 10x podcast. You just launched an AI digital strategy marketing agency. Simone, she's next level. She's a triple threat. Okay, triple threat. So Simone, what do you think are some common misconceptions that businesses have about digital advertising?
There's a lot, but I'll tell you three of the common ones that I've seen. One is there's immediate results. That's one misconception. Number two is that one size fits all, right? So what's working for the corporation is going to work for, the mom and pop small business. And another one is set it and forget it. You create an ad, you create a strategy, and you set it and forget it. We're not talking about like George Foreman ovens here, okay? So this is something that needs that constant attention for you to look at it and for you to optimize. That is the key word, right? So in terms of immediate results, any model that you're using needs time to do what's called train. It needs to be trained. It needs to figure out where your best opportunities are with your audience and be able to continue to serve ads and opportunities to engage to that audience, right? So you want to use that to get meaningful leads. So immediate results is a misnomer. Technically, a lot of times these digital ads need like about 90 days, to be honest with you, before it really starts to optimize it and give you the thing that you really wanted in the first place. And really, you'll start to see your conversion rates on those ads go up considerably.
That's a
So
good point. So, how do you think about companies that don't have a large budget? If they're going to go all in digital, they've got to spend money, they've got to wait the 90 days. What are some strategies around maybe limited budgets?
don't use all your budget at once, right? Think about how you spend your own money. Do not use all your budget at once. If you have a budget for, let's just say, $20,000 for a quarter, I'm just going to make that up. You have $20,000 for a quarter to do marketing. First of all, do it on the platform that you know you're getting the best results on. And how would you know that? From your search engine optimization. It's going to tell you the traffic sources. Okay. So if you don't have SEO, that's one thing that you need to get. And that's something that I discuss with my clients, and we provide these services to make sure that they get the full picture of what's coming from where. The next thing is once you realize the best traffic sources, you can do testing and learning, which is one of the T in the digital marketing strategy. So you will carve off a piece of that money to say that you are going to spend, let's say, 5,000 or 2,000, and you're just going to test one ad with an A/B of maybe the messaging or the call to action, and you can test and figure that out, and to see how you're going to continue. Is this messaging right? Is the product right? Is the platform right? So you can carve up little pieces before you get into the big spend. Do not just go out there and say, "Hey, I'm going to blow my $100,000 on this thing that I'm not really sure about," or your $20,000, or your $200. Test and learn.
So, you kind of hit on prioritizing metrics there. So, how does a company measure the success of a digital marketing campaign and then prioritize the different metrics that they're seeing?
Well, you're going to measure this. You're going to figure out which metrics are appropriate for your organization, right? Because as I said, one size does not fit all. So, for instance, you can have a solopreneur coaching company that's really looking for lead generation. So, for them, we would put together a funnel that basically says, okay, well, here you're going to use social media likely to reach out to your clients, and we're going to put together likely a landing page, some social media, search engine optimization, and an opportunity for people to engage you to self-identify as someone interested. And if that's the case, then you're looking at traffic, you're looking at conversion onto your site, and you're looking at how many people are actually filling in or downloading the thing that you're offering. So that's one example. If you are a SaaS company and you are creating an app, for instance, then your metric is going to be slightly different. You're looking at how your social ads are doing in terms of bringing people to the app stores, how many people are downloading it, what's your cost per acquisition, the cost per download for that particular app, and then you're looking at how many people open the app. So downloads is one thing, opens is another, because you don't always download and use the app that you just went and got. And so you have downloads, you have opens, and then you have monthly active users. How many people are actually using that app on a regular basis? So that's what I'm saying. The KPIs are different based on your goals, and that's why you have to that G in digital. That's why it's so important to set those goals right up front.
Yeah, I think that's really important because every business has a different ideal customer profile out there, right? Who are they selling to? So the digital marketing campaign will kind of map that, or at least it should map that.
Mhm.
So let's dive into storytelling. So, what role does storytelling play in brand engagement, and how can businesses effectively incorporate the storytelling aspect into their marketing efforts?
Storytelling is huge, and it's extremely important. And unfortunately, many businesses don't give it the level of importance that it needs. Right? The technology is cool, fun to talk about, and fun to experience, but at the end of the day, story brands sell. There's actually an article that I have on my on the at Brandiverse marketing LinkedIn page, and that's what it says: story brands sell. Um, when you create stories, you're able to create a connection with your audience, and that connection builds trust and it builds loyalty. And AI plays a role in that because of the ability to help you with personalization.
Hmm.
So using machine learning, which is a form of artificial intelligence that I've been working on since 2017, this is where you're using machine learning, predictive analytics, looking at your data and understanding your audience and understanding their needs and predicting their behaviors based on certain things that you may release or information that your business is putting out there. So using AI to help with the crunching of that data, if you will, to create personalized experiences is important. Then you take that information, you take the key insights from the data, and you use it to create brand stories about how your brand is impacting the world or a particular community, or why you're releasing a particular product, or maybe your product is somehow different, very different, hopefully, than other things that are in the marketplace. It's more natural. It's made with recycled materials. It's leveraging some key ESG focus areas that you have. For instance, if you're a cruise ship, maybe you're doing things with different types of fuels that are going to reduce the carbon footprint for your fleet of ships around the world. All of this, you take the data about what your customer is interested in, you put it into the brand story, and then you release it as an ad as part of your digital marketing. And that's a key thing. Using those things together in a circle is really important. So the AI algorithms, analyzing vast amounts of data, that's what AI needs. So that your data collection, your data strategy is key for all of this. Your infrastructure is really important to making this happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And on the investment side, I've seen a lot of companies really enable this movement of telling your own story. So even if you have just a few keywords, like let's use Dawn soap, for example, the little ducklings when they have their story that they're cleaning the oil off the ducklings.
Mhm. Yep,
You can just have a few words, and there's so many companies right now that will help you generate the copy, and then not only the copy but the sentiment with the audience that you're looking for. So I couldn't agree more, that storytelling matters a lot, because if people cannot relate, they're never going to remember anything about your product.
absolutely.
So we have 10 minutes left.
Hmm.
I wanted to make sure we had time, Simone,
Yes, ma'am.
to talk about this ebook coming out, when you don't sleep. Um, and when is that coming out? And the 10x, uh, your 10x podcast as well. Can you share more? Let's talk about the ebook first. What's the most important chapter? What can we look forward to with this ebook? When is it coming out?
Oh, okay. So the
Oh,
Brandiverse 10x Blueprint, the Brandiverse 10x Blueprint is coming out in May of this year. Okay,
okay.
and that ebook is going to be really great because it will cover a lot of what we're talking about today in terms of how do you create a great digital marketing strategy, how do you use AI, why do you bring in certain aspects of AI, how do you help to make those decisions. And so I didn't want to just do this ebook and have it stand alone and say, hey, go get this book. I said, I really want to help people to implement the actual the ideas in the ebook. So that's why we decided to also launch a webinar that will go along with the ebook, and this will talk about all of the best practices and all of the tools, the tips and tricks and things like that that I do when I work with my clients at all levels of all sizes of business, and help you to figure out what is the right path for your digital marketing strategy and how you can automate and modernize using AI. So it goes along with that. Now, in addition to the ebook and the webinar, I thought, well, I want to give people something that to sort of keep going, right? Because it's like, we're all busy, it's a drop in the bucket. And I have so many great leaders in my circle, people like you, Kim, from you and I, Venture Capital, and so many CIOs, CHROs, CMOs, CEOs, and just people with great ideas, to be honest with you. So I said, why don't these conversations that I have with people around a dinner table or over a Zoom, why not broadcast them and share them with other people in this podcast? So, I'm releasing 10 to 12 episodes. I'm saying 212 because I'm leaving some room because I have some other people that I'm thinking about doing some combination group sessions with. So, 10 to 12 episodes that will be releasing also in May, and we'll be being able to talk about how do you 10x your brand, how do you grow fast, how do you all of these different things that you need to implement in terms of growth and data analytics and strategies and storytelling and all of these things. And so we're going to be covering that, the mindset, the upskilling of your personal brand. How does that look and show up in the world, you as a leader, you as someone who is trying to get into leadership. So the 10x brand broadcast is for the individual as well as the business leader, and it's for anyone who is wanting to go further into this world of the future of digital marketing and how that looks in their life and in their business.
I love that. And is there a cost associated, or how should they find this ebook?
So when I release the ebook, when I start, because I haven't even started marketing it yet, it's, if you look for it, you're not going to find it at this point, right? But by following us at Brandiverse Marketing on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, the information will be released there in any of those platforms. In addition, you can go to our webpage, www.brandiversemarketing.com, and you can join our contact list, and that's another way that you can experience it. I will tell you that for the webinar is free. The podcast is free. The ebook will be available on Amazon and also on our website. And so what you'll be able to do is if you want to go to the if you want to get more information about the webinar, you can go to brandiversemarketing.com/webinar, and you can sign up for the free webinar. And once we release the registration, you'll be one of the first people to be notified about it and be able to register for the webinar.
Okay.
So uh, brandiversemarketing.com/webinar. You can register for the webinar right there. And again, as I talked about before, you can follow us also on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram at Brandiverse Marketing.
Awesome. Okay, with our 5 minutes, I want to do two questions rapid fire. Simone, my world is all SaaS, software companies selling to mid-market enterprise, tops down, bottoms up. For software companies, particularly in the SaaS industry, what are some pro tips for building a strong online community around those kind of brands?
Mm, that's really good. Now, this is where storytelling really comes back into play, right? Think about the end result. How and why are people using your product, right? So that's where you want to create the community around that. If your product is really geared towards, let's say, developers, right? So
Mhm.
they want a community of other developers that are talking about ways that they're adapting the product, or maybe they're sharing information about how they can improve the implementation of the product. One of the key things that people need to realize when they're implementing AI is the infrastructure is key. Infrastructure is key. I talked about in the promotion, the ad of this event. What were the things that people were going to learn, and I said that there were a few things. One of the number one thing that you need to implement AI and get it done right is the tech stack. The
Yes.
tech stack. You have to have the right infrastructure for this to work really well. And that goes back to, what are you trying to accomplish? Who is your end user? What are the psychographics of what they need? And then what infrastructure do you need to put in around it? There's a lot of one-off apps that people can use from, right, SaaS providers, but integration is where it's at. You
Mhm.
need those APIs, you need the integrations, because you want people to be able to work in their native software that they're used to on their desktop and be able to integrate your tool into that. So if you want to build communities about how and why people are using your tool, how they can use it easier, integrate it better, and how it's changing people's lives, how they can learn more about how to make your tool even better. And that's how you can build a community. The Facebook group is still a thing, believe it or not, it's still a thing. But also, you can have a Facebook, I'm sorry, a LinkedIn page to communicate, and have people sort of communicate back and forth with each other. A LinkedIn group is another way to do that. So those are the three ways that I would say you can build community.
That's awesome. And I feel like you hit on the importance of making sure as a business you stay updated with the latest trends and technologies within digital marketing.
Yep.
So, how do you recommend? Let's say you're a leading brand, but you've been around for 20 plus years. How do you recommend those kind of companies to stay? Let's use Kodak. Let's say, avoid your Kodak moment is something
Mhm.
that we say in the corporate world. How do you recommend those kind of brands to stay up to date with the latest technology and trends?
Well, I think that those mechanisms are already built in, right? There's a myriad of conferences that people go to stay up to date with their skills, for your employees to do that. Encourage that as part of your human resource processes, for people to be able to stay up to date, to have tuition reimbursement, to attend these conferences, because this is how they're going to be able to keep a competitive advantage, right? I asked at the very beginning of this broadcast, what is your unfair advantage? And you can create that with technology and education. Get people excited about the future. Think and have these moments where your team has comes together as a think tank to see how your product, how your service will evolve for the future of marketing. Think about the impact of Web3 technologies, making things more immersive. Think about AR. Apple just released their new AR goggles. It's really a lot of conversation about that. That's just the more of the same that's been happening, and just inching and making it more. Pretty soon, everything is going to be gesture related, where our computer screens and our keyboards are more like, do this, do that. It's moving things around. So you've got to get ready for that and have your team talking about these things.
I think that's great, Simone. Well, we've got 20 seconds left. I just want to thank you again for coming on and sharing your wisdom, being an industry leader for so many years and starting your own consultancy agency. So, thank you very much, Simone. And for all of those interested, follow us for more. And if you'd like to be a part of the community, just reach out.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.